Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for Freelance. It's a movie starring John Cena and other people that aren't important enough to name. So, this movie, I had a fun time watching it, mostly because I'm a big John Cena fan, and I like most of the movies that I've seen him in. I don't really care about wrestling, but the supporting cast definitely helped. Like, the dictator especially was just so amazing. Loved him to death. But this movie seemed like it got kind of just really edited all to hell. Like, it just seems like it got really trashed in the editing room. Because, like, for example, right towards the beginning, there's this whole scene with his wife where she's like, "You should go. Like, oh, you're not a man anymore. You're not being manly because you hate your life, and so, like, you're not doing things right, and you're being terrible, so you should go. We don't want you here anymore. You should go." So then he's about to go, and then gets a call about, like, oh, hey, like, I'm going to go do this job or whatever. So then he goes back to the room scene with his wife and is like, "Hey, there's this job that's lots of money, so I'm going to go do it." And she's like, "No, you need to stay here with the kids and I. Like, what are you doing? Like, you can't just go. Like, we're worried about you." And no, that's like, bitch, you just told him to get out, and that, and then, like, you're basically looking for a divorce. And then 2 seconds later, as soon as he's like, "Hey, I got this job offer," like, no, you should stay. But actually, no, okay, wait, you should go. So it's like, it was like a repeat with slightly different things. And it just seemed like they should have chosen one of those scenes. And there was some interesting choices in the movie that I really feel like they were going one direction with at least one of the characters, where it's like, okay, this person is definitely going to be going in this direction. There's going to be this reveal, and this thing is going to be the thing. And then they didn't. They went the opposite way with it. I'm like, okay, everything else that you've been having in this movie up until this point really, really leads, like, the logic factor to make it seem like you're going to be this type of person, and that's going to be the why. And you're trying to tell us that, no, it's this other thing. And I just feel like they inserted a couple lines to try to justify that and make it make sense. And I don't think it made sense. So I just think that the editing room floor is where a lot of this got messed up on. But that's not the only thing. There's, like, this scene where I'm not going to get into that scene. But something else was that they don't make a lot of smart choices in this. Like, there's this instance where he fights two dudes in the woods. Well, not the woods, the jungle or whatever. So he fights these two dudes, kills them, and then continues on his journey with his 50 cal and this backpack. Like, these other guys have guns and knives and other things that you could have taken, and you didn't take any of that. Like, anything. So you could have given it to her, your little reporter friend, be like, "Hey, here's a gun, just in case he's..." Nope. You leave all that shit and you just keep going on. It's not like there was other people close enough to you to be like, "No, we don't have time to pick up even one of those guns. We have to keep going." And then I really feel like they were going to do more with the backpack, because there are so many scenes of him with the 50 cal on his back and then the backpack, and he's holding it. He's holding the backpack and he's running with it, and he's doing, and like, that's the thing. And I'm like, was there supposed to be some type of bomb in that? Or is it just because you didn't want him to look dorky by having the backpack over his front and try to run with that, because that wouldn't look as cool, and you're hiding John Cena's body, which I get? Or you didn't want to try and explain why he would put the 50 cal over the bag, or the bag over the 50 cal on his back? Or why wouldn't he give it to her? Like, why couldn't you have made it like a side satchel thing so that he could also have the 50 cal? I don't know. It just seemed like there was going to be something more with the bag, but it just had, like, a couple of things in there. And I was just like, what? It's such a weird way to hold the bag and, like, be having it out in front of you this whole time. Just, it's a bag with a shoulder strap. Put it on your shoulder. Whatever. And then there's also this, like, editing room scene where it's just the dictator guy. They have the scene with him, and then they run away. They go through, like, they go over water, like, transfer, and just run, and there's this explosion, and so they have this whole pursuit. It's a fun, it's an interesting, it's an energetic scene, and it goes on for quite some time, where these two people are just running and disappearing and going through all this really dense foliage and open areas, and then magically, our hero's cornered, and then magically the dictator comes out of nowhere and shoots one of the dudes, and it's like, how in the fuck did you keep up with them or even know where they were? It doesn't make any sense, because they were hiding, quiet hiding, and the bad guys just happened to stumble across them. So how did you find them? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So it was fun, and it was funny, so sorry if I ruined that part for you, but it doesn't make any sense, and that's what a lot of this movie is. It doesn't make sense. Not asking about the helicopter dudes when he calls, after, hey, we spent the night, and I called you, and then something happened immediately after I called you, what happened there? That doesn't make any sense. And there was also this one scene, I'm just going to point this out, that they're riding on horseback, and dear God, that is the worst fake horseback riding I have seen in a decade or so. Probably more than that. Wow. Just terrible green screen and terrible fake horses that they were riding. It's fine because it's more of a comedic scene, so it's okay, but guys, put a little more effort in or just cut that scene, because that was just fake as hell. And then, so, yeah, I think, so I overall enjoyed the movie, but there's definitely a lot of editing things that don't make sense, and just in general things that don't make sense. But John Cena is always amazing, and he is very charismatic and definitely works this movie. The chick that he's with, she does a good job of making you hate her at first, and then, the story progresses. And then, like I said, the dictator is just the funnest character there. Just how he delivers his lines and what his lines are, it's really fun. It's a funny time. It's great. You'll enjoy him. So I think that this movie can be a fun time, but just accept that it is a flawed movie. So I'm going to get into one thing that is definitely spoilers for the last 5-10 minutes, so just spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, here it is. This whole thing is his buddies got killed, and he wants to, he definitely wants to kill the dictator, right? That is his thing. The dictator killed his buddies, so he is having to resist killing that fucking dictator this whole movie. And then he, gradually realizes, and the dictator says, he's like, hey man, I'm not responsible. I'm not the one who killed your friends. So then he's doing this knockout, drag-out fight with the dude who is from, the Denzel Washington movie, the one where, shoot, I forgot the name of it. But anywho, so he's the super scary guy from that movie, and he's the Russian dude, and he goes through that. The Equalizer. And so he's in this, and he definitely does play a good job of being intimidating. It's only been I feel like it's only been 10 years since the Equalizer 1 came out, but that guy has definitely gained a lot of weight, and they are clearly trying to disguise that. Doesn't work quite as well, but he is still intimidating, does a good job of being a baddie. And so he's having this knockdown, drag-out fight with John Cena, and then he has John Cena where he got a knife to his throat, and he's like, it took so long to finish this job, I killed your 7 other friends, and now I get to finish killing you. And so John Cena's like, oh, you're the one that killed my friends. And then girl shows up, throat chops the bad guy, and the bad guy rolls over, is and so John Cena gets up, and then they run away. They run to go continue other fighting that's going on with the soldiers. It's you've been wanting to kill the fuck out of whoever did your guys. This guy almost killed you, and all you've done is throat chop him? Mildly incapacitated him for a few minutes? If that? So that was incredibly stupid, because all it would take is 5 seconds to be like, hey, you know that big-ass knife you were going to stab me with? Stab, 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 now you're dead. Okay, bye. Now we're going to go. But nope, you just leave him, and it's the last 15 minutes, so I definitely thought that I was like, okay, he's going to come out of nowhere towards the very end and be like, you should have killed me when you had the chance or something, and then just shoot him or have some rocket launcher or something, and then somebody's going to come out of nowhere and take him out, or they're going to have another final thing, and obviously our good guy's going to win, but they didn't. They just left him and carried on with their lives, and never to be seen again. So it just one little just is not going to kill him. Do they think they're going to get a sequel and they want to bring this guy back? Because they're not going to get a sequel, and it would have made so much more sense to kill him. And I don't know why they didn't. And this is where like the cutting room floor thing comes into play again. That I feel like maybe they did leave that and how he was with the intention of having that end scene with the like, haha, you should have killed me, but now, oh no, I fell down a giant, empty thing so that the fall killed me and not you because you're a good guy. Whatever. But they didn't. And I don't know why. It's weird, and I think it's a bad choice. So that was kind of annoying and dumb. But, subversion of expectations. By the way, since we're in the spoiler section, the guy that I'm talking about is like his buddy. Every time he fucking called his buddy, the bad guys show up immediately after. And it's like, how are you not connecting that, John Cena? And then at the very end, his buddy's like, I'm here to save you. See, I'm the good guy. It was the South Africans that I was allied with, and I cut them off. They were the ones that was betraying you. Like, bitch, please, you added that line after the fact. You were definitely going to be the guy that was causing all these problems. Like, you are clearly, in every 90s movie ever, and 2000s, like, you are the guy that is the problem. Like, you would be the one betraying your friend. So, maybe they were just trying to subvert expectations, but it just seemed like, editing room, and doesn't make sense. So, but still, I still overall enjoy this movie. It was a fun time. So, that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Bye.